How's it going, everyone? So, I did get the message to make a tier list on For Honor, and I thought it'd be kind of funny if we did. Obviously, this is just my own random opinions. Obviously, none of it is actually, set in stone, real, whatever you want to call it. So, obviously, if you disagree, everyone gets an opinion, so it's not like my opinion is set. So, the other thing is, I kind of have to explain the rule for how I'm making this tier list. So the way I'm doing it is I'm going to go for all round. I'll talk through each one of them, but I'm mainly doing like good at duels and this. Like they have to kind of have a little bit of everything. So basically what I'm trying to do is if you are new to the game, had no one to play with, these characters are going to be easier to pick up than the majority of the other ones. Just something similar like that. Like in the long run, these will be the best for you. So, for starters, I just want to go ahead and put Kensei up. Many of you who just watched my ranked playthrough, I haven't played ranked in a very long time, and normally I play with Warden and I end up in Plats somewhere. I played with Kensei and I made it to Diamond 5 in my first 10 matches. Later on, I did end up getting to Master, trying to get one of the ornaments. So, I was able to make it to Master and be part of the top quote-unquote 1%, which is a whole bunch of Kenseis, and we all spam the same stuff. Kensei has a ton of cancels, ton of armor, really good damage, really good movement, good mix-ups, good soft feints. He's just an all-around really good character, and he can definitely hold his own in a 4v4. He can anti-gank. He has a lot of abilities that he can do. He can put in damage, he can break turtles, he can do a lot of stuff. So all in all, he's just an extremely strong character. So I felt like he needs to be up here. Other one is, I think, Black Pryor is also crazy. He's got crushing counters on all sides. He has the flip. He's got good damage. He has light into bash light, or light into light, or light into heavy, which catches people dodging. So if they are trying not to get bashed, you can light into heavy. His damage is good. He does have an unblockable, which is feintable, also extremely good. But all around, he's just a very good tank. And then when we move into 4v4s, he also has extremely good feats. He has the bulwark stance healing. He's got a whole bunch of really good stuff to help out his team. So I think he's definitely up there. He's a very good character to play. I'm looking through the characters here. I feel like Jang Jun is another one. He's got great damage, fast attacks. His dodge is amazing. He'll go through anything. His zone attack is super good. His parry punish with the choke does tons of stamina damage. And if he's in a gank and gets a parry, his zone hits almost everything in front of him. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's at least 180 degree, just hits everything in front of him. He's got good range. He has armor. He has the dodge soft feint. He's really good. The only downside to him, I guess, is if you get a guard break, you're not guaranteed a heavy. You can get a zone for, I think, 20 damage, but I think he's a very, very solid character. He has a lot of opportunities in 4v4s. He definitely is a strong character, being able to give his team their stamina back, and some of the other feats he has, the fireworks and stuff like that, those are really good. I'm trying to think if there's another character I want to put as, like, these are the kind of characters I see in a duel or a 1v1, and I'm like, God damn it. But I'm trying to do it not just as a duel, but also in a 4v4 where you see the character and you're just worried. That's what I'm trying to base this off of. I think these are the main three that give me the hardest time, and are also extremely good when it comes to dueling. Going into A tier, I want to put Tandy. He also has an amazing dodge. They did nerf his kick, so he's not guaranteed anything, and they don't go very far, and his recovery is pretty trash, giving him basically... So it allows everyone to just take the kick, there's no mix-up there anymore. His lights are good. His light into bash. His bash is still very good. He does technically have a deflect on each side, though the timing is more strict than most assassins. His dodges, again, are extremely good, and his light attack dodge is undodgeable, so that's very, very good. His zone has very good range and a very, very big hitbox, so I think he definitely deserves to be in the A tier. He's a very solid character. So talking about a character that can sometimes shut down people is Shigoki. He has a lot of health, very good damage. He does have the mix-up, though you can roll away or wait, and if you're on PC, you can wait till the last minute. So this tier list is kind of for PC and console. I'm kind of trying to mix them. I've played on both. I'm just trying to find a way to mix them. It's not a particular system. Shigoki is very hard to deal with on console. His health just makes it difficult, to say the least. PC, he's also kind of easy. My wife tried For Honor for the very first time, used Shigoki. She beat all of the bots, 1, 2, and 3. She was going against a Shinobi, but she also had no idea what Shinobi was, and she had never played with Shigoki. She got like a 30-minute tutorial, and she beat all the bots with Shigoki, so he's definitely good. He doesn't require a whole lot of skill either. He doesn't have a ton of moves or anything, and that's the big thing that Black Pryor doesn't have a ton of moves, though he requires a little bit high skill timing. Kensei has a lot of... I wouldn't say a lot of moves. I mean, I play fighting games. He doesn't have a ton of moves. His move list to me feels small, but of a lot of the characters on here, he technically has a big move list. Jang Jun doesn't. Tandy doesn't. So Shugo also has, I think, like the least amount of moves out of anyone, right? I think so. But anyway, he's definitely good. Other characters I think should just go into A right off the bat. I mean, Lawbringer, still very good. I don't think anyone would argue that Lawbringer has good health, good damage, good mix-ups. His parry game is great. He's still good. He's still super fun to play. Law Daddy's still really solid. I mean, I don't think he's ever going to go down. While we're still looking at Knights, Centurion's really good. I think Centurion is definitely a good mix-up character. The slowing of the heavies, I didn't understand. Him having fast heavies kind of felt like the point sometimes, but yeah, his punches and stuff like that really work for him currently. War Mommy, after the feet nerf, I mean, she could be S. I don't really know where to put her right now, honestly. She works in 4v4 and she works in duels. Her light attacks are the same as Lawbringer, where they don't give up your turn. You don't bounce off. She has armored finishing heavies. She has the same type of punch mix up, close to Centurion, which is very good. She doesn't have a back dashing one like Warden, but I do, and she does have the similar zone attack to Warden. She has the dodging unblockables. I think she does like one more damage than Warden on her finishing top heavy. She does have the armor, which is just really, really good. And after her zone, she can go into a light rather than a heavy, unlike Warden. Warden, I think, is going to end up being like B-ish. I play him a lot. He's very good in duels, best in duels. But 4v4, he's not solid. He's not very good. But she brings feats that are very good to the table, so she definitely deserves the A tier. I don't know if people will disagree with this one, but I really like Shaolin right now. He does good damage. He used to be very low in damage, but now he's got good damage. He's got really fast mix-ups. His damage is, like I said, it's good. Fast mix-ups. He has undodgeables. He has unblockables. He has the stances. He has crushing counters in his stance. He has some good dodge attacks. He has a deflect that is guaranteed. I think he's really, really solid right now. You can feint his zone at any point. Yeah, I actually think he technically has an infinite for clearing out ads as well. I like him right now. He's very good. So let's see. Another A tier type character. I feel like A is the biggest group here. Currently, I'm trying to think if there's anyone else that just needs to be in A. I want to put Shaman in there, but that's just bias. I don't like I'm gonna put her up there. I just don't like her. The bleed, the pounce, the dash canceling, the dash heavy canceling, the dash bite canceling, all of the... And then I also hate the fact that if you play Warden, which I play Warden, if you do your light attacks into a side heavy, you can catch people dodging. So most of the assassins, you'll catch them if they dodge. Tandy, it misses. JJ, it misses. And Shaman hits you before your swing even finishes if she does her dash. And it's a heavy, so it's not like you're getting a light parry off. Orochi's is a light. Gladiator's is a light. Valkyrie's is a light. So if they ever dodge and go for it. Shinobi, you definitely hit before he can kick. Musha. Musha's a light as well, I think, if I remember right. The only other person that has a heavy one is PK, and she does not anywhere close to have the tools that Shaman has. I think Shaman, in my opinion, is up there. Yorm, I forgot about Yorm. Yorm is definitely up there. Really good damage, really good armor. Light into heavy, is it going to be unblockable? Is it going to be light into light? Is it going to be undodgeable? Is it going to be a light into a punch? I don't personally have issues with Yorms. I seem to do really well against them, but I cannot pass up the entire community complaining about Yorm and saying that Yorm is ridiculous. So I'll put Yorm there. I think I'm going to go to B probably real quick. Warlord is really good. He still has his good throws. He's got the headbutt. He has armor. He does good damage. He does have the all guard. That's okay. Yeah, he's a very easy to pick up character. He could even be in the A and the S tier, technically, if you play him correctly. He has crush encounters on all sides as well. He could be an A tier. I'm just not really sure where to put him. I've never seen an A or an S tier Warlord player is my current problem. But yeah, he could fluctuate wherever. If you guys prefer him higher, he could fluctuate higher. Let's go ahead and do Raider. Raider's okay. I think he's having some issues. He doesn't really have any mix-ups. He does reasonable damage, although Shigoki does more damage. So Shigoki has more health, and Raider doesn't really have a whole lot of mix-ups, which makes me wonder why you just don't play, Shigoki. Shigoki has the 50-50, that's a hug. Raider can guard break you out of his unblockable, assuming people were going to parry it. 9 times out of 10, people just eat the unblockable because they just don't think you're actually going to do it because so many people feign it to do something. So a lot of the times I land the unblockable. You can also guard break out of any of his heavies, and like I said, and then as everyone knows, his heavy, you can do the stunning tap, which is a bit predictable if you're doing it too much. He can also trade pretty well with his armor, which isn't too bad. Talking about trading with armor, Berserker, every feint that he gets immediately becomes armored. I think that's obviously very good. I have a lot of fun with Berserker on console. On PC, most people can block his lights. On console, he's a nightmare for some people. Especially when you start mixing heavies into it and they start taking bigger damage, or they parry and they think they parried a light, so they go for a heavy and then you get the deflect, assuming they didn't notice that what they got. I like Valkyrie personally. She's got crush encounters on all sides. She has a deflect as well, the shoulder pin if you need it. She does have a sweep, and if you go for a heavy, she can do the bash where you get a guaranteed light. She has dodges. like an assassin, left, right, forward. She also has a dash back that puts her in armor. You can punch her out of it or do like a kick or something. But if you hit her, it lands, and then she can shoulder bash you and get another light attack. She does have the throw where she can throw you and then trip you if she wants. Although if you dodge her sweep, you get some good damage. You get a heavy, I believe. You get a guard break, which then you get a heavy. So she's not quite as safe as some of the other characters when it comes to some of her stuff. But she's good. She's not bad. She's underplayed, and I think the reason for that is her feats are okay, but the perks you get in 4v4 are just horrible. Like, there's no putting her ahead. I mean, you look at some of the other characters, Bastion, you get more health, you get more defense, you get more everything if you're on a zone, but Valk gets none of those. If she gets a kill, she gets to move a little bit faster, which she doesn't really need. So that's the main reason I'm just going to put her in B for right now. I feel like Hitokiri probably could have been in A. Her mix-ups are really good. She has armor. We can put her in B for right now, though. I feel like she could be A, though. Good damage. You don't have to hold the kick to get a heavy. You have to hold the kick to get a light, which I think is kind of annoying in my opinion. You can also feint the kick at any point into a guard break, which would give you a heavy. She has an infinite. Her damage on heavies is a little bit lower than you would expect, but I mean, other than that, she's good. I mean, it's not a bad character. It's a good character. Highlander needs to be up there. I feel like could even be an A depending on the Highlander you play against. Crushing counters on all sides. If you know what to do when you land a parry, he's extremely insane. His mix-up, the 50-50 and a kick and a grab, is very good. His lights are very fast. His damage is very good, but I feel like he's prone to pressure. All these other characters kind of have a I'm going to run away type of... I guess Lawbringer doesn't, or Shigoki doesn't either. He kind of relies on the crushing counter or being able to back off to get into stance. His dodge while in stance is extremely good. I almost feel like he should just be at the head of B or bottom of A. I mean, these aren't actually in an order. I'm just putting them in the category I think they're in. Like, you could say Yorm is probably better than Shaman, but we're not doing that. It just is more aesthetically pleasing to me to put him up here, if we're being honest. I think Musha... I don't want to put her in the same thing. She did go up in use with Warmonger. They can kind of team up together, but she's just still not an all... I mean, her deflex still doesn't guarantee anything. I just don't understand where they're going. She's only a problem on console. On PC, she's just a joke, in my opinion. She's not great. Zanhu is still good. On console, he is sometimes a nightmare unless you're up against someone that can read you really well. His feats are okay. Nothing special going on. Very small move list. Nothing crazy going on with him. I feel like Conk should be up here. I know a lot of people claim that Conk is good. I don't see it. He does low damage. I don't like having to bash as most of my offense. I don't understand why they just won't give him a dedicated feint. I can still play him and do the feint, but if someone knows you're gonna feint, they can get a guard break off. So I just don't. I don't feel great when I play him. His all guard heavy is okay. Yeah, and then if you get the heavy attack like a crushing counter into it, sometimes it's not even guaranteed to land, but when it does, it feels great. It does good damage too. So I don't think he's a heavy hitter, as his thing says. That's definitely Shigoki. Shigoki's the heavy hitter. He's all right. I see some people put him in A, or they claim that he's an S because of how defensive you can play him. But if we're just going off of, one of you guys picking him up and just playing him, or if you're new to the game and picking him up, I think you'll struggle with him more than you will these characters. Black Pryor can be played in a similar sense, and you'll do more damage. You'll have more options. You'll do a little better. And I failed to mention with Kensei that you can dodge into an attack and then go for either a guard break or his heavy. If you're going to the side, you can dodge right through it, and it'll actually auto block, kind of like a deflect. Conqueror does that same thing, where if you dodge into it, you get the guaranteed block, and then you can bash. But again, you only get a light off of that. Technically, Black Pryor only gets a light off of that, but if he times it correctly, he could flip you, which would do more damage. I feel like Warden has to be here. I just can't put him in C. That just would be too biased, in my opinion. Number 1 dueler. He's super strong in duels. Even if I find Kensei to be way stronger on console, Warden is technically the best on PC. Console, I think he's just okay, but that's just because of input lag and latency. Especially if you don't have any of the new systems, which I don't. It's pretty bad. His 4v4 potential is pretty bad. He's not wonderful in a gank. He can win a gank, but he doesn't have any real anti-ganking tools other than the zone. He doesn't have as many mix-up as Warmonger, and his light attacks aren't as safe. He has a similar bash that guarantees a heavy when fully charged, and he has 3 stages of the bash. Level 1 is light attacks. Level 2 will catch someone that dodges immediately to avoid a level 1, and you still get light attacks. The level 3 will get a top heavy. Now, if you dodge at level 1 timing and they fully charge, you can also dodge the level 3, which only leaves you susceptible to the level 2. He doesn't have armor on his finishing heavies like Warmonger does, but he does have a dash back, so you can dash out of the attack and then bash, taking your turn. I've noticed a lot of people just light spam immediately as they get hit by his 2 lights and the bash, because they know that if he's going to go for another bash, he might charge it. And if you light attack and it's not a level 1, you knock him out of it. So if he goes for a level 2 or 3 and you light attack, it knocks him out, which kind of can shut down a Warden's main offense, because if he keeps light and bashing, you'll run out of stamina pretty quickly. So 4v4s, his perks and feats and all that are nothing amazing. It's better than... His perks are better than Valkyrie's, but he's nothing super special in 4v4. So I kind of just want to put Orochi in C. I don't think he's hard to fight against, and he's not very great in 4v4s. I mean, he can be okay if you're up against a very good player, but I feel like that I've seen too many Orochis that they're just too predictable. When you play the game enough, you see him everywhere. I swear he's one of the top picked. I freaking swear. He's in every single game I play. When I play duels, 7 out of the 8 duels I'll do are gonna be Orochi, unless I play at certain times of the day. The Orochi players are on all the time. If it's after 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock, school is out, all that kind of stuff, Orochis are everywhere. They're just everywhere. He's good. Don't get me wrong. His light attacks are good. His unblockable is a good mix-up. His dodges are his left and right and forward dodge are undodgeable, but they're very slow. And if he gets parried, he has to eat a heavy. His dash back light is fast on console. On PC, you're gonna get that shit parried. His dash back heavy on PC, you're gonna get that blocked at a minimum. On console, it can work. 4v4s, I just don't see it. He gets overpressured with his reflex guard, and he has so many issues. His deflects are good. But I don't see him. And one of my friends is a Orochi and Shinobi main. I mean, he's great at it. He'll do the backdash heavy run up, and he'll deflect a light attack. I mean, more props to him. He's really good at it. But he loses a lot of fights he should win. Like, he's better than some of these other people, but they're just throwing attacks. Or have you tried Orochi versus Shigoki? I mean, what do you do? What do you do? You can't deflect the unblockables. And which one is he going to throw? Or is he just going to feint it and then grab you when you try to dodge? I mean, he He's got so much health, too. And his light attack will knock you out of yours because he has armor on it. Gladiator, I feel like, is in a similar boat, although I will say Gladiator is definitely better in duels. His dueling prowess is very good. He has a lot of very strong dueling potential, but in 4v4s, he just falls flat. His reflex guard and the way he attacks, you'll almost never hit two opponents. His ad clearing, horrible. Ganks, horrible, just terrible. Like I was saying, if you're like trying to clear pikemen or something, you can only hit one enemy unless you get the proper like angle, and then you can hit two of them, but then you still have to hit him again with another heavy, and his attacks are so linear they don't sweep to the sides. Orochi can clear pikemen. He can do a side heavy, dash back, light, heavy, light, dash back, light, and he can clear ads. That's not a problem for him. Gladiator takes forever. But he is extremely good in duels, which I think Orochi is okay in duels, but he's not as good as Gladiator. But they both are kind of just meh when it comes to 4v4 modes. Although, are they worse? Are they better than Warden, is the real question. Warden falls under pressure, but so do they. I don't know. I guess we could argue Warden's down there, but like I said, I don't want bias to come into it. I don't personally feel like if I'm looking at a 4v4 Warden, I don't want to play Warden. I'll just play Kensei. If we're looking at duels, I'll play Warden. Yeah, that's not a problem. If I'm playing ranked, I'm still gonna play Kensei. But we'll leave him be. So we're down to these four. And I almost feel like A and B is too big right now. I don't know who I'd move down, though, in my opinion. I mean, these characters are all playable. I could only move down Valkyrie, and that's only because of her perks, but the character itself is good. Yeah, I don't know who I would move down if I were to move anybody down, honestly. Yeah, I think everyone is right about where I would personally want them. I know some people would put Warden down a little, but I think he should be up there in my opinion, at least. I know some people also want Conk in A. I just, in my opinion, he just doesn't feel A material. I watched some other tier lists like Solid Soul and some of them, and they had Raider in A, but I've never been able to find out really why. And their reasoning just, I don't know. It takes a lot of interest in Raider to be good with Raider. But he also just is not great in duels. 4v4 he's alright, but duels he can win, don't get me wrong, but he's just not. He's going to do better than some of these other characters. The amount of times I beat Orochi because I do like a light and then I feint, or I do a light and then I do a heavy into another heavy, and they think there's no way I'm going to let it go, and they go for an attack and I just slap them with triple the damage that they can do. Oh yeah, it's great. So, let's see. PK's just... If there was an F, that's where PK'd be. She's terrible right now. I'll explain her in a sec, though. Assunabushi. How about C? We'll say C for now. She's got good light attacks, which are really good on console. Her stance is very good. If you can time it perfect. You basically have to really study your character and the other characters to know exactly when to do hidden stance, to get your kicks guaranteed, to get your lights. You also have to go up against someone that can't block and parry your lights relatively easily. Her heavies do good damage. When she has someone bleeding, she does very good damage. She works really well if, like, again, this is if you're playing on your own. If you're playing on a team, though, teaming up with Shaman or anyone else that can cause bleed is really good. PK, I don't know about that. But she's not bad on console. On PC, she's kind of a nightmare to play. You get parried a lot. And if they go for a light parry, they have time to feint and then parry your heavy. So she's a mind game character, which is why I'm going to put her down here. In 4v4s, she can do alright. She has the kick and all that. The one problem that I notice her and Gladiator share, though, is to break turtles in 4v4s. They both end up using a kick or something like that to be able to break them. And Gladiator just feeds revenge. I'm actually putting him lower. He feeds revenge to people in 4v4 with the toe stab, the punch, the zone. I really like him. I like to play him, but my goodness, is he's just not good in a 4v4. He really isn't. I almost have him at rep 20. I just can't. I can't with him in 4v4, man. Musha, I feel like, has moved to D tier. He's super slow. His deadly feints, you just backdash. He'll miss. His heavies are trash. Basically, all that's good at this point is the deadly feints. He doesn't have any real mix-ups, and his zone is trapped behind. His unblockable is trapped behind the zone. So I don't think it's that good of a mix-up. You just wait till the last second to parry, and if he hasn't fainted by then, just parry. He can slow down your offense with his sword blockade, but it doesn't really give him the momentum unless he can kick you into a wall to get a heavy. I just don't think that he embraces the character he looks like or should play like. I think they should take some inspiration from Ghost of Tsushima and make him into like one of the Straw Hats there, where he's quick, he's deadly, but he's not just brokenly fast, in my opinion. PK has to be at the bottom. She does no damage. Her bleed does damage. Her guard break and the triple stab does really good damage, but it's bleed damage is the problem. The amount of times that I have been dead, I looked at my health bar. I'm dead, but I still have enough time to kill the PK before I die of bleed, is the problem. And her dash heavies only do, 5 or 2? It's just 5 damage. You're never, ever getting executions, which is imperative in a 4v4 game mode. You need to get your health back. She has a couple fast executions, too, that will be able to give you your health back, but you don't get to use them. All these other characters on the list you can get executions with, but she is literally just a bleed character. Why? Who thought that was a smart decision? Her damage is bad. Her range is bad. Her deflect is okay. It does a little bit of bleed. It's whatever. Her light attacks are okay, and then her soft feint into bleed always top. It's always top. And that, again, you can just go top, and then if she doesn't inevitably let go of the heavy, her heavies are so slow that you can go top, wait, and then be like, all right, well, I guess she's not going to feint, and then parry the heavy. Her zone is still quick. Does low damage, though. She just relies on lights and zone. It's such a shame to have a character like that, in my opinion. Shinobi. I feel like Shinobi lost his identity. I'm not sure whether to put him in the bottom C or under Musha. My friend is a rep 70 Shinobi. He still does well, and he says that if you time it perfectly, there is, when he does the backflip, how he has no distance, there is a frame there that allows you to dodge any incoming attack, which on paper sounds good. But I don't see the glass cannon that he was meant to be. The low health, high damage. Now he just has, normal damage comparative to basically the entire cast. He does less damage than Shigoki, who has way more health than him. He has ranged attacks, which if you parry, he just falls to the ground because he was supposed to be an unsafe glass cannon. If he does the throwing grab, you knock him to the ground if you counter it. If he does the kick, you can actually hit him out of it. He doesn't have armor on it anymore, so if you're Warden and you do 2 lights and then he dodges, just throw your heavy, you'll hit him, you'll trade with him. He'll still get the kick on you, but You'll hit him with a nice juicy heavy across the face. Yeah, they took away the quad dash. There's not a whole lot to be said about him. I think that I think he needs a rework. They need to figure out something to do with him. If they don't want him to have the range attacks, they need to figure out something else. His zone is really good. His light attacks do good damage. His deflect is kind of pitiful now. It does almost no damage. I know that it leads to a quote-unquote mix-up. It's just not a mix-up. If you do the deflect and you go for a light attack, you get good damage. If you do the deflect and you go for a kick, you're just back into a situation where if I counter you, you fall to the ground. That's why I think he needs another look at. He used to be too strong, now he's too weak. I'm not really sure where to put him on the tier list. I'm not really sure if I feel comfortable with where everyone is at. The only ones I do feel comfortable with are definitely PK and the top. I could move on some of the B cast. I really think Orochi's overrated. Gladiator's good in duels, but he's really bad in fours. Nabushi is only good if you're bad at the matchup, which I am. My friend parries her lights no problem on console, and on PC, I parry her lights no problem, so she's a non-problem, which would end up putting her down here, but I think she still has some playability in a group fight, whereas PK has none. Shinobi has horrible 4v4 ability. It's just, he has no health, and he just doesn't do good damage anymore, so it's kind of a bummer. I feel good about where everyone is currently at. I feel like Berserker's slightly stronger than Raider, in my opinion. Highlander's definitely better than the majority of the people in here. Like I said, a lot of people seem to really like Conquer, but I just don't know if I want to put him higher. Like I said, this is just my opinion, and this is just me getting a fresh look at it and kind of just putting people where I feel they would go. I don't know. I'm not sold on it. Let me know what your opinions are down below and where you think people should go, and then, give me a little reason why you think they should. And if you're a character main and you think they should go up or down, let me know why. Or if I missed anything about it, let me know. Because I haven't played For Honor since the Spooky event, and I've been kind of on Destiny, Call of Duty, and jumping between some PC games, and I've been doing a Doom Ultimate Nightmare run, so I have been a little bit out of For Honor recently, so this is just off of my memory of the last time I played where I would put people. So if you have a reason that you want someone to be a little bit higher, let me know and give me a little reason why. And I more than agree if you think a certain character is way better than I made them out to be, or if you think a certain character I made them out to be too good. Although most of the tier list I watched from all the other big name players, these characters, other than Shaman, some people put Shaman in B, these characters all are in S or A every time. I didn't agree with Raider being an A, so I kind of moved him down. A couple people had him in A, some people had him in C. I just put him dead fucking middle because I didn't know what to do with him. Some people put Conk in S or in A, and I don't see it. He's in B. Warmonger, a lot of people have her in S. I don't think she's that good anymore. Like I said, she's very predictable. You can really parry her lights relatively easy because every Warmonger uses them. They do a zone into a light. They do a light into a light. They do a light into a heavy. Well, if you go for the light parry, you can feint and then parry the heavy. And I know her parry stab punish thing into the wall is good, but that's why I still put her a little bit above Warden. Warden's still the best in 1v1, but she just outshines him in every way when it comes to 4v4. But that's my list. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know who you would change or what you would like to do differently. If you want to see any more tier lists on any other games, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for watching, and I will be back on For Honor here pretty soon. I'm helping out a couple friends finish some stuff in Destiny. They were a little bit behind, so me and my brother are going to help them out Monday and Tuesday. I still haven't gotten gold for the Pellington yet, but I'm basically there. I just need to do the last two challenges, and then I'll move on to the next weapon. So anyways, guys, I'll see you in Call of Duty, Destiny, For Honor, wherever I see you guys, Tekken, Mortal Kombat. We'll see. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.